Hello fish fools, Jeff here. We're looking at my 10-gallon quarantine tank. Currently occupies the fish I received this past Friday. I placed an order from Aquatic Arts and got some denison barbs, aka roseline sharks, rosy loaches, and Siamese algae eaters. And I already had some swordtails I got from my local fish store. So I just put in Rapashi, or I put in Rapashi again. First batch I put in, they devoured so fast, I put in some more, so there. That's a good sign. All the new fish that I got, they're all doing well. And one good sign is just seeing if they have an appetite, if they're eating. They're looking good. So aside from the two DOAs, there was a roseline shark and a rosy loach that were dead on arrival in the bag. But that was offset by extras. They sent an extra of each and then balanced out with what I received and what I ordered. And as far as the Siamese algae eaters, I got a dozen of those. They're really tiny. No extras. One did die, not on arrival, but almost immediately upon being released into the tank. But overall, those fish are doing well. And here are the plants that I just got today from KJE Aquatics. In my previous video I showed the unboxing of that, but I just showed it as I was unboxing it from the box while the plants were still in their bags. Not able to get a good look at them there, but here out of the bags, I just put them in this tank for the time being until I separate them into the various other tanks. But they are looking good overall. But I also have, I didn't even put it in here, this is the Guppy Grass I just put in this little half-gallon little tank thing. I've had Guppy Grass before, and I had some in this. That's actually the third time I've gotten Guppy Grass, but everything that I had is all gone. The first time I got it, I had it and it was growing well until I started getting algae, hair algae for the first time in my Guppy Angler hybrid tank. And I tried to combat that with some easy carbon, and that seemed to kill the Guppy Grass and not the hair algae. And then next time around I got Guppy Grass again. I also put it in one of these, but it was getting sunlight and was growing and doing well. And then when I moved, I kind of neglected it and it dried up, and now it is all gone. Like along the way I did try to put portions of it in different tanks, but it didn't take, and I think it might have had something to do with the poor Beamswork lights. But yeah, so gonna try to cover several things in this video. It was just a look at the plants in this tank, but a few things going on. I'm going to be setting up another tank. Main reason is this is, along with the Guppy Grass, this is the third time getting pearlweed in that pot right there, and I really want to try to get it going. The first time it gradually died off. The second time I got it from Aquarium Co-op, I got a pathetic little tiny portion, and within 2 days it just was pretty much gone very, very quickly. But it's supposed to be an easy plant, and it is often described as an easy plant and a favorite plant by many fish keepers. But I think with my hard water here, I've been learning about hard water affecting particularly certain stem plants. So I'm going to try something where I'm going to set up a separate tank that, to start off with, is going to be a separate tank just for the pearlweed, and I'll probably even put some of this Brazilian pennywort in there. That's another stem plant that I did not have success but this is the second time getting that, and some stem plants. So and put some of the guppy grass in there too. So I'm going to try to do it with harder, well, not hard water. Like I have hard water, but with lower pH and low KH, I think it is. I get KH and GH mixed up as far as like hardness and alkalinity, or trying to act like I know what I'm talking about, which I really don't, but I'm going to try to make that attempt and see if that's a difference, if I can get pearly going there. So I'm going to set up another tank. I'll show you what that's going to be. Alright, so this 20 gallon right here, I've had this for quite a while. You can see it's kind of crusty and dirty. Here I'm outside, and right there, that's my 30 gallon. If you remember, this was my original tank when I was in my apartment, but it leaked. And since I moved to my house, I've just put it right there when I moved, and it's been there ever since, and it doesn't leak. Even when it was in my apartment, sometimes it would leak, sometimes it wouldn't. It kind of made no sense. I don't know if like whatever the water pressure might have had something to do with it. Just sometimes I would fill it up and then it would leak after doing that down to about there, then it would stop. So I kind of left it, and then okay, whatever reason it's not leaking now, I'd fill it up. So this tank is crusty like this. It was never used for fish, but I have this so that as this was leaking, it dripped into this. So I'm going to clean this out while I'm here, and I had expected that I was going to try to reseal this 30 gallon, but yeah, as I mentioned, the time it's been out here, it just hasn't been leaking. When I would do water changes, I would just pour the water in here, so it's like green water, which I guess can be good for fish, so I might use that for maybe healing purposes. It has, the top is covered with duckweed, it has some snails, and I have these little tubs. If you've been following this YouTube channel I had, I was just dropping like Java moss covered in hair algae in these before, but now there's snails and stuff in them that I'm just keeping out here to harvest. But yeah, so I'm going to clean this tank, and that's where I'm going to set up for the pearlweed and guppy grass and some other stem plants. I'll show you where I'm going to put it. Alright, so here is my 6-foot 84 gallon aquarium. It's on this heavy duty muscle rack. But here, that's where I'm going to put the 20 gallon. That is a 20 gallon. Just another, I'm going to go to Petco, and when they have their sales, multiple times I've picked up new tanks, including that one. This 20 high kit I've had since like 4 years. I got that at a Black Friday sale. It was actually one of the early unboxing videos or PetSmart hauls that I submitted on this channel. But yeah, so that's where I'm going to put that 20 gallon when I clean it up, and I'm going to show you another tank and kind of part of the plan of how we're going to do this. So here's my 5.5 gallon. Since I set this up, I've pretty much neglected it. This was my mopani madness tank. I just covered the bottom with mopani wood and red gravel, just because I knew it was going to be like a lot of tannins and dark water, like reddish. So I got red gravel and this poster paper behind it that I haven't even cut to fit yet, but that was going to be the background. And in here, there's white clouds. I put them in here because I was going to try to do a breeding project, and there you go. So there's at least three that are still alive, but this water would be, oh okay, there's four, at least four, and there's even shrimp in here. I didn't purposely put shrimp in here, but some must have just hitchhiked when I moved guppy grass in here. So it's guppy grass and Java fern. And yeah, so this water would be heavily, lots of tannins, and as I've been kind of neglecting it, as I've done before, when I would do that, pH would drop and the KH would drop. So I think it would be dropped to levels where I think it'd be okay for the stem plants, the delicate stem plants. So I'm going to use that. When I do water change on this finally, I'm going to use this water to put into the 20 gallon along with just doing water changes on other tanks so that it will be lower pH, lower KH. So yeah, that's what's going on, and I might have other plans. Like, it's going to start out, that 20 gallon, as, you know, to try to grow the stem plants, and then from there I might use it as, could be, end up being multiple things. I could use it as a, one idea I had was to have a yeah, just to show you, this is what that water looks like, the tannins of that. So it's like tea colored. That's what I'm going to put in the 20 gallon. And possibilities of it after I get the pearlweed and plants going like I have in mind. So I also still have this, if you remember this 3 gallon cylinder tank, you can see movement in there. Those are wild guppies, like I have in my 10 gallon wild guppy tank. I put a few in here, and then they just had babies, and they've just been living in here. Haven't been doing really water changes, and they're just doing right in here. So I may end up putting some of those in the 20 gallon after the pearlweed takes off. And here's just an update on this 2 gallon hexagon tank. This has been neglected. Last I knew there were shrimp in here. Whether there still are, I don't know, but I'm gonna, when I do get a chance, which don't know when, I'll look into that. Yeah, just some possibilities. I may end up putting might use that 20 gallon for separating guppies, males and females, or use it to put my Amano shrimp in there for my 10 gallon guppy on the hybrid tank, and just Siamese algae eaters, and whenever plants get covered in algae I could just move them in there. But yeah, so but first things first, I'm going to set up the 20 gallon and do that tonight, do a water change on this tank and try to get this going. I have a submersible light that I'm going to put in here, so this has been like without a light and it's been neglected, but I want to try to get that going. And I've been meaning